Well, it was inevitable that the X-Men trapped in the past were going to have to get back to the future. I don't know why I went with that. Whatever. X-Men 97, episode 4 of season 2. So this is the second part of our set in ancient Egypt dealing with pre-apocalypse episode. He does fully become Apocalypse in this, which immediately makes him less interesting. I think part of it is the visual design. I've never particularly liked Apocalypse's design. I don't. It's very sort of bulk maximalist, and I don't know. I find it uninteresting. His design as Ben Sabanur is way more interesting to me. It just feels I'm just drawn to it a lot more. Maybe it's the fact that he's shirtless the whole time. I don't know. I can't discount that. I'm just being honest. Um, but it was interesting seeing the descent of him. That is ultimately not relatable, but understandable. We see that Magneto and Charles, try to prevent this. And I like that Charles, even at the last minute, is trying desperately, even though he was the one who said before, like, this is never going to work. So, good on them for trying. I had not caught that Ramatut was voiced by John Delancey in the previous episode. I think it's because he didn't have that many lines the previous episode. He talks more in this one. I caught him this time. I'm like, oh, there it is. And we do have flat out confirmation that he is Kang in this. He also appears to be exiting the story. I mean, theoretically, he could show back up as like a overall situation complicating wild card additional villain, but also as far as his part in Apocalypse becoming what he is, he can be done and finished. It could work that way. There isn't as much to talk about with this one, just because it is kind of just the playing out the strings of the plot threads of the previous episode. Not a lot that really like caught me off guard. Um, it's nice to see these characters. I felt like Nightcrawler got some good highlights, which like Kurt's one of my favorite characters in X-Men. So anytime we get that, I appreciate it. I feel like everybody got like nice little moments. Honestly, if anybody, I think Bishop felt the most like a hanger on. It felt like he was there because somebody has to be able to do time travel for this to work, and he drew the short straw. um, but then again, Bishop's one of those characters who I always thought was a fascinating idea that didn't live up to his potential. Now, granted, that's based off what little I've read that he's in and or seen him adapted, and maybe I've just gotten unlucky. Maybe there is more to him, but I don't know. He's never really done a ton for me. I'll take him over Cable. You know, so let's not go crazy. But he always struck me as a character with a lot more potential than was actually done with him. So, Magneto dying. I'm going to put that in air quotes for a couple of reasons. Firstly, he's died before. He died last season, or he appeared to. So, this already doesn't hit as hard as it should because you did a fake out death with him already. Now, granted, they're actually going all out with this one. It's big and climactic and really built up to, including the moment of his supposed death. All much bigger, much more prominent moments, whereas his supposed death in season 1 got almost immediately overshadowed by Remy's actual death. So I think it wasn't that surprising when he came back from this. When he came back from what happened to him. But with this one, with this season, I think they really want to sell the idea that, oh, no, he's dead. He's not coming back. And like, look, maybe he won't. But the thing is, if he does, I'm not going to be surprised. Partially because they kind of already pulled this, but, not in the same way, but still fundamentally. But more importantly, there's no body. Like, I appreciate, Apocalypse being as dangerous as he is, as deadly as he is. He's holding up Magneto. He does this blast that, like, you see the silhouette of Magneto's skeleton, but then he's completely dissolved except for the helmet. And sorry, it's a pretty old comic book rule: no body, no death. I mean, 9 times out of 10, having a body doesn't mean that they won't come back. But, like, if you've got a body, there's at least a 10% chance that they are dead and are not coming back. But when there's no body, explosions, falling into bottomless pits, supposed disintegration, this stuff never sticks. And again, bless their hearts, they are trying. They sell the hell out of it. But maybe it's because I've been reading comics too much. And, like, here's what I will say. If this is real and they actually killed him, but if it's real and they actually killed him, then they should have just had a body. Because ultimately, what was it that sold Remy's death the previous season? Because there was massive buildup. There was a huge explosion. But you know what sold it? Rogue holding his body. That's what sold it. That's what made you realize, oh, he's actually dead. No body, no death. It's an old rule in comics, but holds true pretty well. And I am mildly concerned that I'm going to start losing interest in the back half of this season. I mean, hopefully not, but I had kind of hoped that they'd wrap up the Apocalypse storyline with this one so that they could do something else. Because, as I mentioned in my previous video, I don't really like Apocalypse. I don't find him that interesting. I don't find the Age of Apocalypse story to be very interesting. He's never done it for me. And they had the more interesting version of him, but that's now been replaced with the classic, just big, bulky, bald, boring dude that he's always been. So they might string this out to the full season. They might string dealing with Apocalypse out until the season wraps. I really hope not. I really hope that we can wrap him up by mid-season. So in, I don't know, next episode or maybe the one after, and then do something else. I don't know, do Onslaught or something. I can kind of expect, well, I say I expected, like they did set up Apocalypse kind of explicitly. But with the mind stuff that was going on with Charles and with Magneto previous season, I really would have sworn they were setting up Onslaught with that, which I don't super love Onslaught either, but I do find Onslaught more interesting than I do Apocalypse. So, and also Onslaught does not have nearly the exposure. I mean, Apocalypse has been just adapted so many times. He was in the original run of this cartoon show back in the 90s. They tried to put him in a movie. He's been done and redone an awful lot. If you have not read the actual comics and have only seen the adaptations, you don't know Onslaught. And I think that'd be a much more interesting thing to tap into, as opposed to something that, yeah, most even casual fans of X-Men outside, the external media outside the comics, they at least have heard of and or seen Apocalypse. I don't know, man. It's one of those kind of paradoxes, like, ooh, let's do the big villains everyone knows. I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to be able to do anything interesting with them. That's unfair. They might. Like, Magneto's a very played out villain. They've done some good stuff with him, including in this episode. So, yeah, I don't mean to sound like a downer, but like I said, I don't have that much to talk about the substance of this actual episode, so I kind of ended up in broader topics a little bit. What'd you think of this episode? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living, even if you can't help me out that way. Like, share, subscribe. They all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you just come on back next time you need a break. Now to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Ruben Lupula, Daphne Matthews, Kay Johnston, Auntie Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casper, Dave Hall, Snark Shark, Oliver B, Mystic Shadow, Stephen Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Magdalena, Melissa Pedersen, Becky Sparks, Twilord, Tracy Scrabbit, Claire Wright, Pal Baraba Joggle, and Sir Didymus is my favorite. Additionally, I'd like to thank from the lower tiers of support, John Dent, Erez87, and Quark 12,000. Well, you guys might like to see Archie this month. Everybody loves you. How could you not?